IT, this is Bentley. No, yeah, I'd be happy to help. Overworked and Underplayed is a not safe for work Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast about a group of young professionals from the real world who find themselves transported to a strange but familiar place full of fantasy and magic. If you click the link below, you'll be able to see the description and content warnings, and if there's anything else I can do for you, just let me know. Have a good day.
Agent Purple, I'm glad you could finally make it. We've secured the perimeter and have the evidence here. Let me take you to our one eyewitness.
Okay, yes. Post haste, please.
Sir, we're ready for you now.
Okay.
Sir, can you tell me a little bit about what you experienced here?
Yeah, we were up in the stands, and they summoned us all down for some kind of ceremony. And, ma'am, my eye is up here. I know this is probably the first time you've dealt with a Cyclops, but you're giving me some weird vibes the way you're looking at me.
Oh, sorry.
You went a little cross-eyed there. You could just stare at my forehead if that makes it easier for you.
Good. Thank you. I will do that. Yeah.
Anyways, so there was this buff babe and this little dude, and they climbed up the big tree, and I was like, whoa. And then we were like, no way. He found an orb in the tree, and then he snagged it. And he tried to jump out of there like some kind of commando, but he got snagged by some gnarly ghost arm. And we were like, whoa, that's giving me the heebie-jeebies, man. Like seriously, for real. And then this hippie drow girl used this ice thing and it went like skadoosh. So the buff babe started punching the shadow people, and I didn't think that would work too well, but then they went like poof. And then the big horse lady got smacked around like she was trying to defend everybody. And she kind of fell over. It looked like she was taking a gnarly nap.
What an interesting way of describing that.
But then the hippie lady poured some stuff in the mouth of the horse lady, and then she jumped up like nothing happened. It was pretty sick.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then the big armored guy just kind of stood there for a while, and he looked really frustrated. But eventually, he just chopped the dude's head off or something. It was kutka! Over. And then everything just kind of went chaotic, and people started fighting each other over some stuff. And then here we are, the police showed up, and we're all like, hands up, we're not trying to cause a problem. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to go to jail.
I totally see that, sir. All right. Well, Mr. Eyewitness.
It's Sai.
Oh, well, lovely. Thank you so much for your input. We'll be following back up with you in case you might need some additional support from our team, or if you have any other information you'd like to share. Thank you.
Rad. Greetings, my paid and unpaid interns. I am Alex Capps, your DM or district manager, and this is Overworked and Underplayed, a D&D podcast that could have been an email. Today's icebreaker: how does your character like to spend the holidays?
What up? It's your boy Marcel Hardy playing Richard Cox, a human consultant turned halfling bard who wholly believes it's better to be lucky than good, but it's best to be both. And Richard spends the holidays with his family. It's one of the few times a year where they're all together, and they have a tradition where they each open one present on Christmas Eve, and then they leave the rest for Christmas Day.
Sweet.
That's so wholesome.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Annalyn Hardy, and I play Taylor Jacobs, a centaur barbarian with a heart of gold who has certainly gotten more complicated as we've gone through this podcast. So her favorite thing to do on Christmas is read everyone's out of office messages. And
because
she
doesn't have an out of office message.
Right. She's still online.
Is that her version of getting Christmas cards?
Oh no!
Maybe she puts the one she likes, she prints it out, puts it on the fridge or something.
That's very depressing.
No, she genuinely enjoys reading them. She thinks they're cute.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie and I play Crystal, the Drow Druid with her very own MLM, Crystal Clarity. And Crystal's favorite part of the holidays / what she does over the holidays is she hosts a ton of Black Friday sales as well as recruitment workshop type deals. So that is her gift to herself is just going to events and talking about herself.
Yes.
So that's what she does for the holidays is she does a ton of traveling, but not with her family. with her boss babe sisters.
Hey, I'm Margie. I play Amy Ann Amanda, a basic B, rough and tumble human fighter with a freshly minted dentistry degree. Let's see. So Amy Ann comes from a really big, close-knit family. So of course we all do the standard, Christmas Eve, Christmas. Everybody comes together, exchange little gifts in the morning with pajamas on.
Do they have matching pajamas?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yes, absolutely.
Do they go
do.
caroling the night before?
Absolutely, they do. It's amazing. It's like one of her favorite times of the year. And they have like a little tradition. It's not every year, but whenever the newest dentist graduated, like they graduated earlier this spring, they'll celebrate specially in Christmas. But Amy Ann has not got to experience that yet because she just graduated. So she's hopefully will be back.
Oh my
in
God,
time for
she's
Christmas.
missing her thing that she's worked for.
Hopefully we won't be gone that long. But
I feel like it's been a year, sis. Are we going back?
It's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it has not been that long.
yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully it's a fun thing. There's a lot of secrecy around it. So I'm interested to see what that's about.
There's gonna be like candles and
maybe some robes.
some robes,
some
some
teeth.
I am Tyler, play Bentley the IT paladin, and Bentley does the same thing I do, where I avoid going home to see my family on the 24th so I can stay home and watch Christmas movies, and then I go see my family on the day of.
What's Bentley's favorite Christmas movie?
Mine is The Polar Express or A Charlie Brown Christmas, one of the two.
Okay,
Those
so
are
you're
the two I-
classics.
Those are the two that I watch every single year.
I'm Alex Capps, your DM or district manager. The way DMs spend the holiday, it's a lot like Saturday morning cartoons Christmas specials, where there's all these characters having fun and with their family or friends, and there's always that one character who's just at a bar drinking whiskey and playing pool all alone. That's the DM.
Hey listeners, this show is made possible by the support of our awesome patrons. In addition to a thank you for their support, our patrons get an ad-free listening experience and access to exclusive bonus content. In the weeks between episodes, our patrons are getting an extra show where we recap episodes and talk about some of our favorite moments. For more details about what you can get by supporting us on Patreon, check us out at patreon.com/ownuppod.
So when we last left off, you guys were in a heated battle with the head of the orchard.
I would just like to say, can we cut into Bentley still in his cool pose of having Slash? 'Cause that's
Sure.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
And Crystal's
as we
outraged.
Everyone else is
resume-
weirded out because it's been like 5 minutes and he's still holding that pose.
As we resume
For like
action,
18 seconds.
You guys see is Mike Schuff's body does that anime thing where the top half and the bottom half slide different directions.
Ooh.
And all you see is Bentley holding his pose with his flaming sword at the low position.
So
And
question,
suddenly it poops.
when...
Is it still flaming, though?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes. Bentley's gonna look at his sword and be like, I am now a believer in God.
Yeah,
This
and then
corpse
Crystal
is on
goes,
fire.
"You mean to tell me you could have done this that entire time?"
Looks like y'all had it handled.
We
Taylor's
had
like,
you.
we didn't.
We had it handled. You sat in the corner and cried.
I couldn't move.
You couldn't move
Yeah, I was
That's so
frozen in
useful.
place by magic.
by magic or just your own sheer terror.
Taylor's gonna be like, it's
Think it was
okay for
magic.
men to show fear.
Taylor's over here bleeding out, all beat up and everything.
Crystal, she's flipping Bentley off, not Tyler.
The darkness is beginning to dissipate,
Okay.
and you guys are seeing more and more of this area.
Is there anyone
And
else
you
around?
realize that you weren't necessarily in a cave. It was more of
His mother's basement?
no, it was not his mother's basement.
Was it a field?
It was more of a ravine where
Okay.
and this tree grows up out of and goes to the area around where you were earlier at the main camp.
Okay.
And let's have Richard and Amy Ann make a perception check since y'all are the only ones not arguing with Bentley about things.
Where
Crystal
are we?
also performs
Can you remind
healing
me?
word
Are we-
on Taylor while that's happening.
What did she say?
Okay, hold that thought.
Okay.
And you said, what was it, perception?
Perception.
And then are we still on the tree? Or where are we?
No, you're both at the base of the tree by this point.
10.
6.
So the 10 will be enough. You don't really know what's happening, but you see what looks to be people starting to stand up in the stands. like the areas.
Oh.
where
Oh,
the,
right,
the
there were still
people were
people.
before.
Oh, I thought they all
I
disappeared.
thought they disappeared too. You
I
said
didn't
they
say
all.
all of them.
Oh.
So it just
Okay.
wasn't as big as we thought it was.
Okay. All right.
Eh.
So
Interesting.
do we both see this essentially?
see it.
Okay.
Richard's hunched over with his wounds.
And
Ah.
okay, so I'm gonna kneel down and start giving you some bandages. Richard, look at those people are standing up. There's still people in the stands.
Okay.
Should
and
we
so
say
Richard's gonna start
something?
looking around. Yeah, we definitely should say something. Are they doing anything? Oh.
Hold still.
Ow.
Hold still.
So what I'll say is, as you look a little closer, you see it looks like it almost looks like they're waking up from a nap.
Oh.
Like the
Okay.
way they're stretching and they're like rubbing their eyes and stuff. All right, so Crystal, you said you were casting a spell.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So I'm just gonna cast Healing Word at the first level to Taylor Jacobs.
Okay.
Heal for 7.
Okay.
You get 8 plus the number of hit dice you have.
Oh, you using your healing kit?
Yes.
Okay. So you're bandaging Richard up, Amy Ann,
Yes.
and then Crystal, you're casting healing word.
Mhm.
All right. So Bentley.
I want to loot Chef.
Okay, so you go to loot chef. You don't find a lot. You'll find a little bit of gold. I'll
Richard
say-
says, "Look for keys."
Way ahead of you.
Can Taylor see that the people are still there?
I'll say you find 21 gold, like in a little coin purse, and then you find a couple of strange-looking gems, and then I'd say you would find some kind of keys to the facility. What is Taylor asking?
Can she see the people?
Yeah, so you see the people. Looks like they're waking up.
Okay.
Okay.
What did Crystal say to Taylor for healing word?
Didn't you say it was like get up, bitch, or something?
That was my first one. This is the second attempt at Healing Word.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
what
these
if
are all
she
just
was like-
names. I
what
feel
if
like
she
these are
was like,
official
"That
names of
was
Crystal
okay."
Clarity products.
Yeah.
Get up, bitch.
Get up, bitch. That's her morning wake up solution.
I mean, no, she was just like, I think that she recognized that Taylor totally saved her ass.
Yeah.
Even though she's not super thrilled that her ass got saved, she's mad about Bentley. I think she's just like, thank you
Aww.
in a nice way.
And then Taylor's gonna be like awestruck.
It's a big deal.
All right, so Tyler, you finish looting Mike Chef, and
Yeah, you
you
said
you,
strange gems, keys.
you start looking at your sword again. What was it you were saying?
I just want to hold it near the body and see if it is it like holy flames or is it burning?
Oh yeah, it's
flames?
definitely holy flames, and you see like whenever you get it really close to one of his body parts, now that he's for all intents and purposes dead, the body begins to ash.
I'm gonna get rid of
Ew.
the body like
Ew.
that.
Okay.
Like crumbly ash? Like Buffy
Yeah.
the Vampire Slayer,
Yeah, like
vampire
full
dusted
on.
ash?
Yes.
So Taylor wants to like look deeply into Crystal's eyes and then like gesture around the room and be like, "This is your moment. Look at all these new customers."
Oh, oh, that's right.
All right. So what is Crystal doing?
So Crystal takes the opportunity to stand up. Is there a stage still standing?
There is not, but as you stand up, you see a figure dressed in black begin to approach all of you, like walking up.
Oh.
As he sees that you noticed him, he puts his hands up and he says, "I mean you no harm."
Taylor's got her sword out.
Yeah, dude, we kind of already had this dance. So I'm going to need you to like disrobe, I guess, and
Yeah,
like
This is-
you
that's
probably
actually a really good idea.
you
Oh.
are wearing an actual robe. This isn't a mask. I'm not asking you to get naked. I'm asking you to like
Although
He
that would
said
be
he
no
says-
harm,
he
but I
says
don't
there will-
trust you.
There will be no disrobing, but if you want to survive this whole thing, you should probably come with me. You just killed this cult's leader,
Right.
and all of the cultists are waking up.
Right. Which is my shining
So-
moment, dude. You're killing my vibe. So I'm going to have you offer this, but give me 5 seconds, okay?
What?
Richard, what do you think? You think we can take this?
Do we get it? Like he was talking away from us. He's making his way towards us. Do we see like now as he gets closer what he looks like?
So what you see is a figure dressed in black. He has a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a luchador mask,
It's our guy.
right?
Uh-huh.
And as he gets closer, you see he's not really wearing a robe as much as it's more of like a leather trench coat.
It's a badass long coat.
Right.
Yeah,
Does
and
he have any weapons?
you do not see any weapons.
Probably doesn't need weapons.
So
he
he's
just
not an
does
anime
cool shit.
protagonist just yet.
And he says, "I mean none of you any harm."
Mhm.
Insight, please.
Richard,
Insight?
Yeah.
Go ahead, roll insight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Insight.
Insights.
100%.
Richard is going to like not lean over. He's going to like look around and be like, Jimmy, is that the? And then remember that Jimmy's not with us anymore. And then be kind of sad.
Oh. Dirty 20.
So what I will say is, from Jimmy's description, you're like,
19.
this sounds like this guy.
Okay.
So with a 19 and a 20,
Mm-hmm.
your gut instinct is telling you like what you see does not appear dangerous, and he appears truthful. That he doesn't mean you harm, and that he's worried that what's going to happen now that you've killed Mike Sheff and you're on a compound full of cultists.
That appeared to be waking up from a trance.
Guys, I think we should believe him. He seems trustworthy.
Right, but this is my chance.
Well, do your thing, Crystal. Do your thing.
Okay.
We can do both, can't we?
Yeah, so she's going to speak to the room at large, and she's going to say, there is no need to panic. We have freed you from this oppression.
You see as one of the cultists like rubs his eye and he looks and he goes, "Whoa, did they murder Mike Sheff? He was just there.
No, we did not murder Mike Sheff.
What happened to
It
him?"
disappeared. We
He's
made him
gone.
Richard.
And with it, the spell that was placed on you has been lifted.
Tell them God smited him. It's technically the
That's
truth.
technically true.
That's technically true.
But we're not doing that yet. We're not doing that yet.
So you
because-
said that? It
For
sounded like you
fuck's
said
sake,
that.
Bentley.
I need you to make me a stealth check
Damn.
with disadvantage, Mr.
Oh my
Flaming Sword
God.
Weirdo.
Richard, give them a presentation.
Yeah, where's the PowerPoint?
We have a projector now.
That's what Richard
We
needs
do
a
have a
spell.
projector.
That's PowerPoint.
I rolled a 9, so with my -2 to dexterity, that is a
So what
Swear
I'm
to
going to
God.
say
It's a
is,
7
you guys,
itself.
as you're trying to convince the cultists, you hear Bentley go, "Tell him God smited him," like pretty loud, and more of them begin to wake up and they're looking,
Pay no attention to the man
He
with
is
the
not
flaming
important.
sword.
and then they look.
While they're looking at that distraction, Richard wants to put the light bulb in the fanny pack.
Okay, so I'm going to say that's easy enough because the guy with his hands up is kind of looking around the room even, and he's like, "We need to go." And you hear one of them go, "Did they stab the holy aspen?"
Uh-oh.
I think he's
Oh.
right. We should probably get out of here.
They're like,
Thanks, Bentley.
"They
Welcome.
don't respect our ways. We must deal with them according to the community guidelines."
Okay.
The terms and conditions.
Yeah. That didn't work. Hey guys, that didn't work. Let's go.
Grab your shit. Let's go.
And you see as the people begin to get out of the stands that's around this tree, and they are drawing swords and daggers and all kinds of stuff. And the masked man, he goes, "Hurry!" And you see as he begins swirling his hand, almost like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Was it
and
purple?
a portal appears.
Is it-
Ooh, yeah.
is
What
it a-
color is
what
it?
color
Quick,
is it?
everyone jump through
I'll
Dr.
say it is blue.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So
so
not the same
it's-
swirly we've seen before.
No,
Okay,
it's
okay.
not that.
And it's not Rick and Morty.
And he says, "Hurry now, hurry."
All right. Amy Ann will go in first.
Yeah, we'll go through. Taylor will be last, so in case anyone comes up
Yeah,
the
the
rear.
person with the lowest HP should go last.
Okay.
She got
before-
healed.
As I walk, as I'm
Verse
walking
7.
into the thing,
Mhm.
can I do a quick look around and see if I see either Indigo or Peace?
So as you look around, you don't see either of them.
Okay.
But you do note that this amphitheater doesn't appear big enough to hold everyone that was on the compound.
Okay.
So
Okay.
As Richard's going in the portal, he wants to see if there's the bracelet on his wrist from Jimmy's description.
okay, so you're gonna need to make a perception check with disadvantage because
That
it's
makes
gonna be like you're gonna have to really look hard, and then I'm gonna need you to do something else. I'm gonna need you to also make a stealth check to see if he notices you, like looking for something.
Okay. So poor perception, that was like a 5, but stealth is a 19.
Okay, so you don't see anything, but you don't see him notice you not seeing anything. If that makes sense. Basically, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Net 0.
No good or bad thing happened.
Balanced.
Nice.
And as you all make it through the portal, when you get to the other side, you see you're on a hill, what appears to be probably a
Well,
mile.
hold on. Before Crystal runs through the portal, she wants to like yell at the top of her voice, if you guys want the truth, you need to find the crystal the real Crystal, and that's it. She doesn't give him any other information.
Oh yeah, we should tell him that Crystal Clarity. Did
So
Like,
when you say
real.
that, they're like, yeah, she was coming to visit in a couple of weeks.
I said the real one, and then I just like backfall
What if-
into the portal.
I love the idea of you back falling into the portal and then you just lay
smack
you
your
just
head
like
on the-
smack your head on
But
a
it
rock.
looked cool to begin with,
Yeah.
okay? From the cultist
Okay.
side, it
And
looked
so
cool.
and so everyone's going through the portal?
Yeah.
All right, and then
Yes.
he's going to jump through right at the end and close the portal as they're like slowly closing in on
So-
you guys.
Taylor's gonna be like, Crystal Clarity sent us ahead to get rid of him so that she could take over your cult. Okay, bye.
All right, I'm going to write that down.
I ain't mad at that.
So, you guys
Let's pit the cults against each.
It could work to our favor.
it's like you can't defeat me. No, but they can. So you guys make it through the portal, and you look around and realize you're on a hill probably a few miles away from the orchard, kind of overlooking it. And you see what appears to be a lot of fires and stuff at the orchard itself. Looks like there's a lot of chaos going on down there. And you see as the masked man turns to the rest of you, goes, okay, now, are any of you injured?
Hold up there, buddy. We don't know who you are. We don't know what your intentions are. We're going to need a little bit more from you. We don't even know what your face looks like.
I would like to
Do
be
you know how
healed.
to do yoga?
All questions I shall answer in due time. Introductions are in order. I would have preferred to do them upon our first meeting, but it seemed that our movement was prudent. My name is Dr. Datarian.
Hi, Dr. Datarian.
Yes.
Oh, are you a dentist?
He's a
What is
surgeon.
It's like mouth stuff.
I love how
Well-
she said dentist and he said what is dentistry, which means he does in fact know what dentists are.
He says I'm familiar with mouths, but not necessarily
But
the
are you
science
familiar
okay.
with
of
mouth stuff?
He says, oh, I know about mouth stuff.
He tries to look like he gets mouth stuff,
Yeah,
and we
but
all are
he's
like,
Yeah.
You have to
Not.
say you are. Are you really? So he says, I've been visiting the orchard for quite a while, and I have been trying to figure out what they were up to and what their leader was doing. It appears the lot of you beat me to the punch, as to say. Now, you look
It was
like
fruit punch flavored.
fruit punch.
Sorry.
Fruit don't punch. I'm confused.
No, you said we beat you to the punch. The punch was fruit flavored. Fruit punch.
Your punches are flavored.
Yes. I mean, fruit punch is the most common one.
He seems very puzzled by this.
But
Richard,
not dentistry.
hey, so about that healing,
He says, yes. Are any of you injured?
Think
Yes.
most of
Yeah,
us
I'm
are
pretty
at
sure
some
Crystal
capacity.
Are you unable to continue on? I would prefer if we could get to a safer distance.
oh, I can work through being
Yeah.
sick. Definitely.
That's so awesome.
She's a real workhorse because she knows how to work through being sick and has never taken a sick day. I will let you go ahead and burn one of your hit dice to regain hit points.
Without being
Because
a short rest.
you
That's
you
pretty
know how
clever.
to force your
Yeah.
body into to continuing
She's
working.
got the mental strength of a marine.
Yeah.
how long would you say it takes for me to apply my healer's kit use? Like a minute or two?
I would say, yeah, it's a couple of minutes. He
Oh,
says,
okay.
we can spare 5 minutes.
Okay, let me give you 8 plus the number of hit die you have is how much health you get back.
For me?
Yes.
So it'd be 8 plus 3.
Between the two of them, whose looks the most injured?
Richard looks a little bit better than half healthy.
A little bit better than half, so he's probably okay. On a scale of 0 to 100,
Taylor looks
what
pretty
percentage would you say? All right, then I'll just hold my own.
good now. All right.
He turns and he says, no need to take this offline. Overworked and Underplayed will circle back after these messages. Is anyone hungry?
Guys, I don't think we should eat anything from strangers. We learned the hard way last time. No offense, sir, but I think we've got our own food.
Okay.
We also
Taylor
did just
rolled
eat not too
the-
long ago.
Yeah.
Then let
2
us
on
continue on.
insight,
We
so
will.
she would like an apple if he has an
Uh,
apple.
Once,
Here. do I see that? Do I see her asking him for an apple?
Yes.
Hey, you know what? Instead of that, I have an energy bar.
Oh,
Taylor, you want that?
yeah, that's the same as
Here
an
you
apple.
go. I'm just nervous. Like last time knocked us out.
Of course, you're completely right.
He
Okay.
says, that is very
Annalyn was
understandable."
sarcastic. Taylor was like,
No, I know,
yeah,
I know.
sure.
He says, "I believe it is in all of our best interests if we return to Lavron at the soonest opportunity."
Yeah, no shit.
Now,
So we left our wagon back at the camp. How do you propose we do this quickly? Are you going to do another portal thing again?
well, unfortunately, I can only do that so many times.
But like you could do it again now.
Yes, but it could only get us so far.
Could it get us back to our wagon at the camp?
But then
Potentially.
we would have to run away from the camp again.
Yeah, but with a wagon.
With the wagon.
But they have wagons, remember? Because we rode in together.
Yeah,
You
and
see
then now
as
we have a chase
He
scene.
says, hold on. And you see as he performs some hand gesture, and this small little bat appears in his hand, and he sends it off. And he says, "I will see to the status of your wagon." You see as he kind of like zones out for a second, and he says, "Okay, I will send 2 of you to get the wagon."
I'll go.
I think Amy Ann and Bentley probably the best wagon drivers we have.
He produces a portal, and he says, "Okay, go now."
Okay.
Fine. Bentley goes, even though he knows he's going to have to hear more stories about
Airbud.
So,
Home Alone too.
This is a really great film.
you 2 portal through, and you appear at the wagon. And as you're getting it ready to leave, you see that it appears that several of the cultists are all fighting each other at this point.
I'm kind of interested in why they're fighting. Do I hear anything? Like, are they yelling at each other?
You just hear a lot of angry noises. You're not close enough to and
What are
clashing of
angry
steel.
noises?
You're not close enough to really figure out like the socioeconomics of what's going on here or the politics of the situation.
Gotcha. I went to public school. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, what's socioeconomic? Anyway.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, quickly putting everything together, checking on the horses and all that. Is all of our stuff still in the wagon?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
It doesn't
exactly as we
appear
left
that
it.
anything's really been messed with.
Is there anything of interest nearby that one could grab?
What's the equivalent
Is
of
there an-
slashing the other cart's tires?
I was going to say...
I'm gonna
are there-
loose the horses from the other cart.
Okay, that's something you can do.
Okay.
Wait. I want to steal one of the other horses.
Okay, so are you gonna try to ride a horse?
No, that's a good point.
Please.
I just want to steal
Save
another...
a horse. Save a
Don't
horse.
release...
Ride a cowboy.
Hold on. Don't release all the
Bentley
horses from
the
the carts.
cowboy
We'll steal another
paladin.
cart. We can sell it when we get back to town.
That seems like a lot of work, Bentley. Are you going to be in charge of this?
Are you going to
Wow,
take care
Mom.
of this puppy? Are you going to feed it? You going to walk this dog?
Bentley,
As I'm like releasing these horses, go on, yee yee.
Bentley's weighing the options of whether or not it's worth...
We're going to yeet out of here.
That's how you talk to horses, right, Katie?
Sure it is.
Bentley's weighing the option of whether or not it's worth being able to ride on a supper cart from Amy Ann.
She could just talk to you.
Don't worry, I won't talk to you, Bentley.
I would
No,
love
that's... I
to
didn't
see
say
you
that.
ride a horse. Please.
As we cut back to the rest of the party, he turns. He goes, "It doesn't appear they've made any progress. Is this normal?"
I would say that they're probably right on schedule.
They're
if I had to guess.
just fine.
We always
Honestly.
put a buffer on our schedule. We know
Yeah.
our workers.
Yeah.
You are some
You
very
under
strange.
promise and over deliver.
There it is.
Oh, interesting.
It's in the contract.
So we cut back to Amy Ann and Tyler.
Yeah, I just got on the regular cart, our cart, and just...
Okay.
Let's go. I'll drive.
So you guys, I would say, without too much challenge, managed to make it back to the rest of the party. And he says, "So, shall we all depart?"
Oh, side note, as we pull back up to the party, you hear Bentley talk to Amy Ann. He's like, and that was my tragic childhood story that I will never
Holy
tell
crap.
anyone ever again.
Whoa, Bentley, and you told me not to share this with anyone?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I
Yeah,
mean, this
don't-
seems like pretty important to the
Yeah,
way
don't-
you behave.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
Taylor's looking very intently.
Oh no!
Okay, are you
That's
actually
a-
going to tell me a backstory, or do I get to make
No,
it?
get to
no.
make it
Hey,
up.
since you've done that, Tyler, you now need to DM her your tragic backstory.
All right.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
message
yeah.
me, yeah, or something, yeah.
You know what? I will DM her my tragic backstory when I come up with one.
Yeah. So,
That's such a good
So they come back. They don't have a second cart. Richard's like, well, I guess we're sharing a cart with this stranger then.
He's got his own way back. This was ours.
as he hops up in the cart with you guys.
You're the yoga guy, right? Can you show us some moves while you're back there?
Could you show
well,
me some breath work?
There's not quite enough room here for my normal yoga sequence, but you see as he like attempts to do downward facing dog.
Quick question. Would Crystal, as a certified yoga instructor, know that he is bullshitting the fuck out of them right
So
now?
he's got the idea, but you could tell like you're like,
Are you
So
gonna
Crystal knows her yoga is better than his
adjust
yoga.
Yes.
his alignment, Crystal? You're like, oh,
Crystal
actually.
actively takes his hips and adjusts his
so
back.
as
in
you
the
do that, you hear
appropriate
like
way.
8 vertebra pop, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, you're very totally skilled at yoga.
Dr. Datarian.
Detradian.
What are you a doctor of?
All this is happening now. We're
As
on the
the
card.
card-
Yeah.
He says, doctor of many things.
Well, usually it's one thing.
Where are you from?
I'm from here. I'm from Travaria.
Are you from the orchard?
Oh,
I'm
no.
not from the orchard.
The way you say that makes it like you know that we're not from Travaria.
Are there any? Can I roll something to determine if I can determine any clues about him, like his
Sure.
appearance, his accent, anything?
Make another insight check, and we'll see if you can pick up on anything.
And I look over at whoever's across from me and like squint my eyes, like
Richard's
Richard.
driving.
oh, okay. So I look over at Taylor, like
He's just trotting
nice.
alongside.
Skeptic.
Yeah. So I don't know if
Crystal's actively
Doubt.
still got her hands on him, trying to get his yoga pose.
You say
to be
perception?
right.
I said insight.
Okay, a 10.
Yeah, you're still skeptical. You can't tell if he's like a con man or if he's serious or what. But
Okay.
you do know he has magic.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah. He's got a
Yeah.
a bat.
Yeah, well, he made it appear. So you think that it might be, let's see. You saw early in the campaign when the Inquisitor made the bird appear.
Mm-hmm.
You assume it's something similar to
Okay.
that.
Can I tell anything about his mask? Like, is it really sweaty under there?
Oh.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
it's not, because that's
Is he
just the thought
fogging
of
up
that
his
made me
eye?
squirm in
Wait,
my
wait, wait,
seat
wait.
a
That's
little
so
bit.
funny because that's what Annalyn
You're
said.
going
Oh,
about
is
it.
it really?
Yeah, she's like, I bet it gets really sweaty under there.
We needed an answer, Alex.
Same way, please.
You're
I'm
going
going to
about-
say that it does not get sweaty under there because I don't even want to think about that.
He's
You're going
not-
So
about
he
this
has like
wrong
a
way.
magic spell that gives
Sure.
him air conditioning
He's
underneath
just constantly
his
casting
mask.
prestidigitation on himself.
Look at the condition of his teeth and see what you can discern from
Well,
his childhood.
if I could see his teeth, can I see his teeth?
Yeah, you can see his teeth.
While
Oh.
she's trying to figure out his teeth, I'm like, well, 2 questions. One, like, how late is it? And how dark is it?
So I'm going to say the sun has just come up.
Okay, good, because Richard doesn't have dark vision, and he's the one driving the cart. Second question.
I thought
Just
Bentley was
drives
driving the
right
car.
off a
Yeah.
cliff.
I imagine you guys traded out once you
Oh,
told me your
okay.
tragic backstory.
And then the
Yeah.
second question, Richard's going to, like, lean back. Anyone actually know the way back to Travaria?
He says,
Uh,
point of information. There,
Or
Richard,
Lavron, whatever
was it?
city we're going to.
This is all Travaria. We are heading to Lavron.
You
Or
know
at
what
least
I
that's where I
mean.
believed you were heading.
Yeah, that's
You
exactly
said
where
to
we're
go
going.
to LeBron.
He reaches into his trench coat or like his, overcoat, and he pulls out a map and hands it to you. He says, "This should help."
All right, so Richard's going to roll a survival check to see if he knows how to read a map while driving.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Does Richard know
no.
how to read a map?
I mean, he got a 14.
Hey.
Not
All
too
right.
bad.
Yeah, what I'm gonna say is this isn't far off of the like main highway of Travaria of this part at least. So
I just need to be able to get back on the highway. and
Yeah.
I'm good from there.
Yeah,
On the
you made it to
highway.
the interstate.
We just need to make it back to the what's that place with the soup that we met the
The
Mama
Mama
Tildes.
Tildes.
yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta make it back to Mama Tildes.
So he says, "Oh yes, the soup there is succulent.
it's good.
Ew.
Yes, it's quite good."
Crystal, I didn't realize how good Richard is at multitasking. Did you see that? He's like driving the cart. He's got the
Yeah.
reins of the horse. He's reading the map.
I mean, I could probably do better, but he's
Oh,
doing
well.
an okay job.
Is my
Taylor's
sword
gonna be
still-
like, she is the
No.
client.
It is-
She
You
could
you
probably do everything better.
yeah, when you sheathed your sword, it went out.
Wait, what if I never sheathed it?
I
You
guess
just
you'll
said-
never know.
Riding around with an
Can I unsheath it
unsheathed
and see
sword.
if it comes back on fire?
So he's over
It's
there
gotta be
like shaking
uncomfortable,
it,
honestly.
and nothing's happening.
Damn.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Exactly what you think we're talking about.
Tyler's flaming sword.
That he didn't sheath? It's probably really uncomfortable to
sheathed
ride
it,
back with an
apparently.
unsheathed sword.
Anyways, so you're continuing on in the cart. Bentley's playing with his sword in front of everybody. It's kind of
That's
weird.
concerning.
Yeah.
He's
Put
got
that
a
away.
tragic backstory, guys. I would try. And make him know.
That's all she can say about that.
That's all I can say.
I can't say anything else, but it's tragic.
It's like ooh.
Well, here's the thing, Amy, and we all have tragic backstories. So,
do
like,
we?
you don't.
It's just like, I don't have a tragic backstory.
No, I thought. I mean, we just. Okay. No,
all of
I
our
guess
trauma
everybody.
is equally valid.
Okay. Yeah.
Amy, it's like, I had my college paid for. I went to
As of the last 2 weeks, we all have a tragic backstory, I guess.
So
So
that's
true.
a good point.
Dr. Tatarian says, if I may, tragedy is the one thing shared amongst all people here.
Can you speak up back there? I can't hear you up front.
Oh, man.
He said something about tragedy. Everybody's experiencing it or something like that.
I wasn't built for suffering. You could think of me more as a sports car that you just take out when the weather and conditions are perfect.
He does not know how to respond to that at all.
She's like a Ferrari, but more reliable.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
a mix
Ferrari
between a
is- I thought
Ferrari and a
Ferraris were
Toyota
supposed to-
Camry.
He turns and says, is that a type of horse where you're from?
I mean,
guess
kinda.
yeah.
Huh,
They do have a lot of
interesting.
horsepower.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
I
it's
do have a lot.
Italian.
Oh, you have Italians?
Yes, absolutely. So, hey, Doc. So, what's the deal? Give us the exposition for why you're here.
I told you, I've been investigating the orchard
Uh-huh.
Like,
How'd
how
that
do
go
On
for
whose
ya?
authority?
Yeah. More details, please.
on the authority of the Lord Protector of Lavron.
Oh, hey,
Ooh.
Doc. I have a question. When we were getting the cart, they seemed to be infighting. Any idea why?
I was under an assumption that who you knew as Mr. Chef had been using some sort of enchantment to cloud others' minds. But the strange thing in my bit of investigation was it seemed that not everyone required the enchantment. Some people, just by virtue of visiting and seeing the conditions, were more than willing to join his little family. I couldn't believe that anybody would actually just blindly follow this man.
Everyone
But
turns and looks at
to each
Crystal.
their own.
I guess that means we did Bluegill a favor by taking down one of their competitors. Maybe we'll get a bonus.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's why I was hoping that we'd get to use those keys and maybe get some information from Chef's desk or
that
anything.
would have been
but
nice.
You're working for Bluegill.
Unfortunately.
We're not happy about it.
I assumed
Yeah.
you would have known that.
Some
since
might
you
even
were-
consider that we tried to get fired and they won't do it.
Well, have you ever considered leaving the corporate sector for the government sector?
I've
It doesn't
considered
pay
many
enough.
things and they still won't let
Hey,
me
but
out.
the
I've even
benefits are better.
had poor job performance and they were like, nope, we're not going to fire you. So if you can get me out of that, that'd be great.
That is quite unfortunate.
That
Isn't
sounds
it?
kind of like government
It does.
being unfireable. But anyway.
He says, perhaps I could put in a word for you with the Lord Protector, Harold Longshaft.
Good God.
Yeah, that would be great.
His last name is Longshaft. That's funny. Is there a shorter name for Harold?
Harry
Harry?
Harry
Oh,
Long.
Harry Long-
Longshaft.
Shaft. Do you?
Shame on you, Alex! Shame!
Are you guys
Richard
perhaps?
has a sense of companionship with this person he's never met before, just having similar type names.
Oh, man.
From one dick joke to another.
Oh, what's your first name, Doc?
Amun. He says
Sweet.
Amun, and then his middle name is Asada. Isada.
Amuna Sada. Okay.
Like carne
I
asada?
was going to
Yeah.
say I could go for some carne asada.
Okay.
And he says, but like I was saying before, the Lord Protector had some questions about this cult. And listening to rumblings around the town, I had heard that the lot of you were visiting, and I thought this would be a good chance to observe from afar, to see how he treats people who he doesn't know, and also knows have no ties to official government business.
Well, he won't be treating anybody any kind of way anymore.
Yeah, at what point did you come in that room?
He says, I had just arrived as I saw the magical darkness descending in the area, and it took some time to navigate.
I see.
Oh, shit. Crystal wants to use her little friendship bracelet. She's going to be like, so he didn't see the part where the guy was,
No, I
A
don't.
giant spider?
A 50% discount.
Oh.
Oh my god! As she makes the chopping motion with her hand. So, what do you think should the next step be?
He thinks for a minute and he says, well, the only thing for me to do is to report my findings to the Lord Protector.
And what are those findings exactly?
My findings are that, based on what I've seen, is that the orchard is no longer a threat to the government.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Mr.
I don't know. They seemed pretty
Darian.
pissed off as we were like,
A lot of time there we have this thing called a vacuum of power. When one person leaves, a bunch of other infighting happens trying to take that top spot.
Well,
And then there's sometimes a
considering-
worse person in charge.
Well, yes, but considering before it was a demon and now it's not, I would say they are less of a threat and off of our radar for the time being.
Like, when you say that, is that figuratively?
What do you mean?
You said he was a demon, like... that's
Yes, he was
pretty
a
specific
fiendish.
choice of-
He was a fiendish being. You knew this, right?
I did.
What do you
He
mean
did
you
not.
did?
Yeah.
I
He
sensed
says-
Wait,
it.
you knew that? You didn't tell
He
us?
says,
I tried to, but the bracelets were apparently turned off when I tried to tell you.
so you mean to tell us that you actively kept a secret from us and let us all get the shit kicked out of us until you finally decided to, I don't know, get up off your ass and help?
Again, magically couldn't move. Nothing that could be done.
I do not believe that you
Wait,
were.
Besides,
wait,
you're
wait,
gonna-
wait, wait
You were
a
going to
second.
join that fiendish cult, so you can't
Wait
really
a
say
second.
anything.
Hold
Are we
on.
there yet, Richard?
Hold on. Hold on.
The road's starting to look a little familiar.
You mean to tell me that you didn't go there knowing he was a fiend?
No.
Why would
And-
we do that?
Yeah.
I'd assumed you were traveling there to dispose of him on behalf of Bluegill. They'd always been at odds with each other.
Yeah, but him being a fiend had no information on our part.
You
Also,
are-
we don't start our workday thinking we're going to kill somebody. either.
That is also correct. That's a very good
Super
point,
true.
Taylor.
He says, interesting. Interesting.
And before now, we have to start all of our work days thinking we're going to kill somebody.
He
Right?
says, well, you might be the most interesting group of persons I think I've ever come across.
Wow, thanks.
We get that a lot, yeah.
I imagine so.
Hey, so Dr. Dorito, do you know?
He would be offended, but he doesn't know like what
What
that
a
means.
Dorito.
Why would he be
is-
offended by that?
I don't think they have Cool Ranch in this land.
American
You mean American.
flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey, so what else do you know about us in your research and your findings?
Well,
Do you have a performance review?
he says my limited knowledge has told me that you're not from here per se, that you're from some faraway land.
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Interesting. I've been intrigued, especially after the reports came in that you stole from Bluegill, and then
It wasn't the group per se as much as a couple specific individuals that drugged the rest of us down with
and
it.
then there were several
Says
brush-ups.
the guy whose flaming sword didn't come in handy until the last bit of the fight.
And he says, well, there were also several other brush-ups around town related to you. There was quite a large file. But it was the sudden shift after your last adventure out into the wilds that I couldn't help but be let my curiosity get the best of me. So I began seeking you out. And when I learned that you had embarked on a journey to the orchard, and the orchard was at the top of my lists of things of interest, well, I just couldn't help myself, and I had to head on down and see what all the fuss was.
Do you have a person, just curious, how did you know we were headed to the orchard? We kind of like went to Bluegill, slept, and then like we didn't tell anybody. Like, how in the world could you possibly have known that?
Well, there's a list of people and images of those people that are produced and posted at all the gates. And, you know, when there are people who have caused problems before, it gets reported up the chain of command.
Are we in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. We're just talking. We're just having a conversation. There are no charges or implications
We're not
here.
going back to jail, are we?
Depends on how you answer the questions.
What question?
Allegedly.
That was an option.
It's like it dawns on Taylor Jacobs. Oh my God, we've been talking to a cop this whole time.
Exactly.
He says, "Don't worry, I don't plan on implicating any of you in any sort of illegal activity. If anything, you all did me a huge favor. I believe this is a good spot to make camp. I think we should stop here."
All right, Bentley, what do you think?
How close are we to Mom Utilities?
You're still a little ways away, and it's starting to get dark.
Oh, it's been a whole nother day.
Yeah,
And we're not.
this
to
is
Mom
a
Utilities
travel day.
yet? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess. Yeah. Sure. It's a good enough spot as any. I'm gonna use my divine sense to see if there's anything around.
You
Oh,
detect
smart.
nothing.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. This should be okay. Maybe.
You
All right.
detect one fiend right in the cart with you. No, I'm just kidding.
And it's
And
Boy,
it's not
Amy
Dr.
Ann.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Here I go.
So
Smiting again.
you guys make camp. You see as he sets up his little bedroll and everything on the ground, and he says, "Okay, so who's keeping watch?"
We've learned our lesson, I think, guys. So I think 2 of us
Yep.
should be awake at any
Yep.
given time,
Okay.
just because we've had really bad luck in the past.
Crystal will take the first watch because she only ever requires
Yeah, and Amy Ann
4
will help.
hours of meditation.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Taylor and Richard or
Sure.
something.
And then I guess Bentley and Dr. Dude will take the last
Oh,
watch.
nice. That
All
makes
right.
sense
Dr.
given your
Dude.
smiting ability.
Dr. Dude.
You guys set up.
Mm-hmm.
So during the first and second watch, you guys have no real issues. You trade out and everything. Third watch, Bentley, I need you to make a perception check.
14.
Okay, so with a 14, you hear what appears to be some kind of rustling in the bushes, like just off to the side. And you see as Datarian looks and he goes, "Did you hear that?"
Yeah, I heard that. Bentley's gonna be unsheathing his sword.
He's like, "I'll go around the left, you go around the right. Let's see what we're dealing with."
Sure. Bentley's also gonna get his axe out, so he's dual wielding and has
All
the
right.
+1 to AC.
You both move around almost like a pincer motion, and you hear the sound begin moving farther and farther away from camp. And you hear what appears to be the sounds of goblins.
I guess I don't see them, so I can't really do anything. I'm gonna call
You
out.
see the bushes begin to rustle.
How close am I to the bushes?
You're about 15 feet away from the rustling bushes.
I'm gonna see if I can sneak this, or you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna sprint at it. and
Okay,
so you
sprint
swing
at the
my
sound.
sword. Yeah.
You swing your sword. I want you to go ahead and make me an attack roll,
All right.
and then make me a perception check.
So that's a 19 to hit.
Okay, so you hit. You swing your sword and your axe right through this bush, and as you do, there's nothing there.
Ooh. Was the bush just obliterated?
Yeah, the bush, you just, cut cleanly or right through a tree, and then you slice right through a bunch of grass.
Cool. Do I see Dr. Dude?
You do not see him.
Ah, shit. I'm gonna start running back to camp.
Okay. And as you're running back to camp, all you see is Dr. Datarian opening a portal, holding the astral projector,
You motherfucker!
and going through.
Well, I'm boned.
A gratitude a day keeps the haters away, and that's why we want to thank you for listening to Overworked and Underplayed. You just heard Alex Capps as our DM, Annalyn Hardy as Taylor Jacobs, Katie as Crystal 2.0, Marjorie as Amy Ann, Marcel Hardy as Richard Cox, and Tyler as Bentley. Episodes are edited by Marcel, and Circle Back episodes are edited by Katie. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll circle back in 2 weeks on December 28th for the next episode. You can help us to get the word out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also follow us on social at OwnUpPod, that's OWNUPPOD, subreddit r/OwnUp.
You sometimes sound like a cartoon villain. I don't know if it's on purpose, but
Just saying.
sometimes when you end a sentence, it feels like bad things are going to happen because of the sentence that you said.
Yeah.
Is all.
Like ominous.
That
Yeah.
seems like a you problem.
That sounds like a manager.